Instagram live. How you doing? The live you've all been waiting for. What I'm going to talk about today, it's not cute. It is a breach of trust. And I'm seeing far too many incredible doulas, awesome midwives, amazing life-changing birth workers doing this, and I want to get into it. So, by the way, how are we feeling about these glasses? These are my spare ones. My others have gone off to be fixed. So I've got notes because I want to make sure that I get everything over. My heart is beating so fast because I feel low-key enraged when I see this. And the difficult part about this for me as well is that some doulas, some midwives, and some people that I really, really admire are doing this on the regular. I've spoken to it before, but I feel like I want to go into it on a much, much deeper level. So, number one, this thing feels like connection. It feels like connection. It feels exciting. It feels just gorgeous. However, it's ego driven. It's completely ego driven. What am I talking about? When I see doulas and midwives posting pictures of themselves going to births, when I see doulas and midwives posting pictures of themselves, or just the moon, or their car, or whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't really matter, but they're sharing that they're going to a birth or they're coming back from a birth. It's not cute. It's a breach of confidentiality. And I'm going to explain to you why. First of all, I've got notes. Hi, darling. How are you doing? Yeah, not really new glasses, spare glasses. Mine are being fixed. So, first of all, who is it for? Who is it for? When you post a picture of yourself going to a birth, coming back from a birth, even potentially giving details about that birth, be it at home, you're outside the hospital, the birth centre, you may be talking about how long you've been there. Who is that for? It is absolutely true that people want to see the behind the scenes of your business. It does, breed connection and trust and authority. But who is a post like that for? It's for you. It's for you and your ego. How does that support your clients or potential clients? It doesn't. It literally doesn't. Yes, they want to know about your business journey. Yes, they're interested in what you're doing. But you are not doing that from I am adding value. I am sharing something important here. You're doing it for an ego stroke for yourself. Stop. Stop doing that. The glasses have said so. Ask yourself when you post anything, who is this for? Is this for me? There are so many times when things happen in my business that I am fired up about, excited about, and I want to post and share about it. And then I say, is this for me or is this for my audience, for my clients? And if it's for me, I don't do it. I take a breath, I pause, I take a little moment and I'm like, who am I centering here? Because when you put pictures of yourself going to or from a birth, you're centering you in someone else's story. And that's not okay. That's the antithesis of everything that we stand for as doulas and independent midwives. We're about centering them in their story, and yet here we are centering ourselves in it. So number one, it feels like connection, but it's actually just a massive ego trip, and we need to not do it. We need to not do it. Number two, it's a breach of confidentiality. It's a breach of client confidentiality, even if there's no name. You're stood outside the hospital. You're stood outside the birth centre. You're in the location. And more than that, even, people know who their friends, their relatives, their co-workers have hired as their doula, because people talk to each other and because doulas and midwives have tiny caseloads. People are not thick. They can connect the dots. You are supposed to be upholding client confidentiality, and you are sharing the details of somebody going into labour. How is that upholding client confidentiality on any planet? It simply isn't. It simply is not. So it's a breach of confidentiality even without a name. Your audience can put two and two together. They can put two and two together. So even if it's vague, even if it's we've just got back from, we're just going to, you are sharing someone else's details out there potentially. What if their mom follows you? What if their auntie follows you? What if their friends follow you and they don't want them to know? Now, I'm not saying you might have ahead of time said, will it be okay if I share when you go into labour? And we're going to get to why. Even if people say yes it is, I still believe you shouldn't be doing it. I am not saying that you shouldn't take a picture. I am not saying you shouldn't record that moment for you, for prosperity, for even to share. But you should not be posting it in the moment onto Instagram, ever, period. So, and I'm going to explain why. I've got notes here. I've got notes. I'm fired up. It's very important to me. So, you're jumping into somebody else's story before it has finished. In the event that you are doing this on your way to a birth, what if that baby dies? What if there's a poor outcome? What if that person is completely traumatized? What if their family is like, oh my God, that's Lisa's birth? And then there's radio silence for 72 hours. And you've announced that they're in labour, basically. You've announced that they're in labour. Like, what then? Where do we go from there? It's out of integrity and you're centering yourself in someone else's story. And circling back to what I said originally, that is fundamentally against what we do as doulas, what we are about as independent midwives. We're about centering them in their story. So you jump in, I'm just checking my notes. We're jumping into someone else's story before it's finished. Birth is unpredictable. Birth is unpredictable and it's also fucking sacred and it's not your birth to share, to ride on the ego-based coattails of. So you should not be publicising that you're going there. And if you are sharing on the way back, okay, right, so you're sharing on the way back, it was glorious, everything went really, really well, blah, 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 blah. Again, you're making a birth announcement. People are not stupid. You're making a birth announcement. You don't work with 5 million people. You work with a handful of people. And people know who has hired who as their doula, as their midwife. You are making a birth announcement for someone when you say, oh, I'm on my way back, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not okay. It's completely not okay. What if after the fact, after that birth announcement that you've just made for your client, thanks very much, they experience trauma? What if something happens after that that is deeply personal? What if they just didn't want everyone to know? Again, maybe people that are doing this are asking ahead of time, can I share on my Instagram when I leave your birth? I actually doubt it. I actually doubt it. If they are, great. But I still believe it is out of integrity and it is a breach of confidentiality to do that in the moment. Things happen after. Things happen after. And you're not taking that into account when you do this. So, the oxytocin that you are feeling in those moments is beautiful. We love it. We do this because we care deeply. We want to see people have their dream birth, their dream experience, to feel supported and powerful and like they can take on the world. We are about that life, unquestionably. But that's theirs. That's their moment. It's not our moment. And so when you are in the moment of a story, you're going to a birth, you're coming back from a birth, you're in your story, right? That's your experience of it, not theirs. And when you share it, you are sharing it for you, not for them. And I believe, I will die on this hill, that you should not be doing that. You shouldn't be doing it. You are hijacking someone else's oxytocin vibes there. You're hijacking it. And that's weird. And you're doing it live, online, for everyone to see. And I think that it is just an ego stroke. You're doing it to validate your own work, potentially. Yes, we're celebrating those people. But look a little bit deeper. Go a little bit deeper. Who is it for? It's for you. The truth is, it's for you and not for them. Take the picture. Capture the moment you and, them, or maybe not even you and them, you and your colleague. I've seen doulas with midwives capturing themselves outside, two midwives, whatever it might be. Capture the moment, like literally capture it to save and to keep, and then keep it to yourself until those people have had time to process, even if it was amazing, to share with all of their friends and family. Even if they're like, it's fine, I'm happy. Give it to them. Allow them to be centered in their story. This is what we're about as doulas, as independent midwives. So why would we all of a sudden throw that out of the window? So let me make sure that I've covered all my points that I wanted to cover. Yeah, stop co-opting into other people's most intimate moments. Don't do that. Do it, but you don't need to share it, because nobody knows what might unfold before, during, or after that. And you are centering yourself in someone else's story. Take the photograph, capture the energy, but just park it. It's just park it until a moment where it can be done in a more respectful way, right? Delay, reflect. Definitely fucking ask for permission. Just because no one's name is on it, people can work it out. People are not stupid. They can connect the dots. They know. They figured it out. And for the client of yours who has a horrible birth, a difficult birth, a traumatic birth, a long birth, number one, you posting when you're on your way there and the potential expectations that might put on them for the other people that are maybe seeing that they know. Just because you don't know that they're out there doesn't mean it's not happening. That's not okay. For the client that sees you posting, oh, I've been at this very, 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 very long birth, but blah, 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 blah. It's not your story to share. So I'm just making sure I haven't forgotten anything. You can capture this and you can share it further on down the line once their story has unfolded, once they're not in the middle of it, once it's not still ongoing, once it has reached a certain level of conclusion, because it never does. Things can happen further on down the line, but at least if a week has passed, there's a good chance that those people have had a chance to share with their friends, loved ones, colleagues, for themselves, their story of how that went, how long it was, what happened, where it was, all of those details, without you just blurting that out on the internet because you want to essentially stroke your own ego. Keep the picture. And when you finish working with them in a couple of weeks' time, share it. Share the vibes. Tell the story. Bring the lessons and the value forward. But stop doing it in the moment. Because it's not yours. It's not done. It's not over. It's not okay. So I know this might ruffle a few feathers. I know that not everyone's going to agree with me on this one, right? But I have been saying this for years, right? You've got to check your intentions. You've got to check your intentions on this. I don't believe any doulas. I mean, tell me what you think. What do you think? Is this okay? Is it okay to share when you're going to a birth? Do you feel like, well, as long as I don't say the name, then no one's going to know? Wrong. But come at me. Am I the only person thinking this? Well, I know I'm not, because I've had conversations behind the scenes, and it's definitely not just me. So let me know what you think. It's not about never sharing. It's not about never sharing. It's about appropriate, non-ego based sharing at the time when those people that are involved have been involved, so should I say, have evolved through their story, because we don't know where that story is going to go. Nobody knows. And it could go in a direction that nobody wants. And that is out there. and it's been out there, and it's a footprint, and it's like anything. You put it out there on the internet and it's there forever. So, what do you think? Have you ever felt like weird? Or am I the only one? You know, do you post when you go to births and when you're coming back from births? Do you like leave a certain amount of time? Because that is the thing that I will basically never ever agree is okay. It's ego driven. It is centering yourself in someone else's story, and it is a breach of confidentiality. It's a breach of confidentiality, whichever way you slice it. So, are you someone that does that? Let me know. I don't reference going to, being at, or leaving births on social media ever. Good. No one should be. Nobody should be. And if you are, and you are doing it to stroke your own ego. It's simple as that. We can love our work. We can be obsessed with how powerful women are and how incredible it is to get to be in these spaces. But we can do that and honour the people whose story it is. We can do that without breaking client confidentiality. We can capture that. We've got to hold ourselves to better standards. We have to hold ourselves to better standards. People are coming for us anyway. Don't give them a reason. So, here endeth the lesson. Here endeth the rant. I'd love to know what you think. Give it to me in the comments. Let's see. Like, these glasses are my spare glasses because mine are getting like refurbished, and they are giving Deirdre Rallo, I think. It's giving limelight theft. Done it, lived it, and learned, so no longer. Exactly. Like, listen, this is no shame or shade. We all do things that we're like, actually, that's questionable. Like, I've done it, not this. I've never done this, ever. But then, you know, for the longest time, I lived in the land of no social media, going out to births and so on. So I've never, ever done this. I can hand on heart say that. But what I have done is done things where I've gone, that was a fuck up. That was a me thing. And I'm not going to do it again. But if nobody calls it out, nobody's going to learn. So there you go. That's what I wanted to share today. I've been meaning to share it for a little while. DM me. Let me know. Share this with other birth workers. Let them know that there's a different way, or there's a different context, or maybe they're just straight up fucking up. So there you go. All right, my darlings, I love you. I believe in you. Stop sharing other people's oxytocin vibes and private details, basically. All right, my darlings, speak to you soon. Lots of love. Ciao.